Obviously, I do recommend buying brand names. Like the cheap non-brand names will die faster. And you should format your memory card on a pretty regular basis. And if you're formatting it, basically it's like if you're on Windows, you right-click it, and there's like a format. So after you've done like a big shoot, you've copied it and used the card a bunch, format it, and it'll keep the memory card in good shape for like a longer period of time. But
rather than going to the actual memory card and deleting the files one by one, it's not really healthy for the memory card. It's better if you format it.
Well, that's one thing. If you had a corruption and you deleted the photos, you can pay someone some money and they will actually find, if you've never formatted the card, they'll find all the images because they sit there. The zeros and one binary code is still there on that card, which is why formatting is a good idea. Shoots. Basically, a private shoot in the idealism is you and a cosplayer have an agreement that you as a photographer, this is your shoot, you run the shoot, and a cosplayer is they're expecting A, B, and C. And I don't care if other photographers share my shoots with me, as long as they don't get in my way. Some photographers can be, if it's your shoot, you can say, you are in my way. It's allowed. I mean, like, you have to think that you're like the director of the show.
I appreciate input every once in a while if somebody else wants to join in, if they have an idea for a better pose or a better angle. Sometimes it's really, like, it's nice to work together. But yeah, again, you're right.
So you can ask cosplayers and go up to cosplayers, and it's hard to sort of like not be that photographer person. It's sort of be like, hey, I'm a photographer, I'm learning, or I really want to get some more interesting cosplay into my portfolio. Do you mind, you have 10-15 minutes of your time to sort of pose for me? I've got some great locations, or I've got a studio set up over here, do you mind? Obviously, like, if you haven't done much going for like the big cosplayer, you know, they might be more or less a little wary because they care about what they look like, obviously, and they don't want pictures of themselves that are unflattering on the internet because they're things like unfortunate and stuff. But I mean, there are a lot of great cosplayers that are not well known. The thing that I did earlier this year, I did the shoot of Silent Hill cosplayers at Anime Central this year, and this is like their second or third cosplay. They just came up to, I run a photo booth at cons, they came up to us, and this nurse was freaking amazing, sorry. Her mask like went like this when she breathed. And they were really cool. And I said, do you have time? Can you come back at 7 o'clock when my shift's over and we can go outside and grab some shots? And they were totally into it. They showed up on time, which was shocking. We did like a quick 15-20 minute shoot outside, great location, and then I crisscrossed them to like the wazoo. So, but it turned out really well, and it blew up all over the internet. It was on a whole bunch of like Kotaku and all that stuff. Mostly because I put it on Twitter, which I'll talk about later. So basically, you know, you don't have to get the most amazing cosplay in the world and take pictures of it. You know, you can ask your friends if they're willing to post for you. Go online, talk to people, be like, I'm starting out.
Most of the people that post for me are still my friends, so it's a good idea.
And if cosplayers ask you and you want to take their photo, you know, obviously, there you go. That's usually when you adapt your style and you've been shooting for a while, people will come up to you and ask you because they want this style for their costume, and that really works really well. Expected of you as the photographer. I tell people how long it's going to take me to process an image. I don't tell them if you can process, you know, 5 shoots in 2 days, then more power to you. I've got a job, and this is not my job. And it takes me 2 to 3 weeks to process an entire shoot. And that's sort of like the problem with this is people want their photos right away, and just be like, hey, I've got a life, and I will get them to you as soon as possible. Obviously, 3 months down the road, there's a point where like you're sort of dropping the ball somewhere, and if you want to continually do more shoots, this is one of those things that people will stop shooting with you or thinking about using you as a photographer if you're 4 to 5 months behind. And that's it's a courtesy. They shouldn't expect you to be 2 days, but you should sort of be like at 4 months.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I go to school full time, and so it's really hard for me to process fast. But I mean, if they know you and they understand, like, and they know your photographic sense, and they'd be willing to wait a little while longer.
Yeah, I mean,
after a while, I definitely start to feel bad if I'm like hitting that mark. And you're like, oh, I should really, these aren't up yet, and that's a problem. But
it's something that I do. Is Monday or Tuesday after the con, I do a quick through my images. I think that when I first look at my images, they all look correct. But I go through them all, and that's like an editing thing. You should look over your image at least 4 or 5 times before you choose the image of that shoot.
Because it's also a little thing in Bridge, you can star them, and you can go back and star them again, and like,
and then you can
color
code them.
Yeah.
And then you can filter them. But I take one image of each shoot that I've done and do a preview. So that way, if I'm like a month and a half behind, at least they have that one image. Sort of they can know that the shoot went out really well, and they don't have to worry about like if it doesn't work. Scheduling, you should. Cosplayers are notoriously late, which is fine because they're most of the time putting the costume on for the first time, and there's costume issues and things break, and you should sort of like leeway your schedule to know that your 30-minute shoot might actually be an hour and a half behind. But work with them. I do like I'm doing shoots at 10, 1, 3, 5, and then I leave breaks in between so that if people come up to me at cons, I can do that. Should I charge? This is a really hard question. This gets up on cosplay.com on a pretty consistent basis because there are photographers who don't charge, and there are photographers who do charge. I do charge, but only because 15 conventions, a hotel costs you $100. Travel costs you, if I fly somewhere, that's $200 to $300. I love doing this, but there's going to be a point where I need to start at least, breaking even on this stuff. And that's a thing that I really mulled in my head for a good 10 months. And at this point, it's more of like, I have people who are willing, that they want the hour in my time, and they want the shot of that, when I charge for shoot, it's whatever they want. If they want this particular shot of their skirt with the blowing in the wind, I'll do that for them. And it's something it's sort of hard. There's a lot of photographers that charge, and there's a lot of photographers who don't charge. So, mull that over your head before you make that decision, obviously. I think we talked about it. Lighting! I love daylight. Daylight in the morning and the evening is the most prettiest light. It's orange and beautiful and glowy and sort of quite perfect. And artificial light is the devil. But not necessarily. Obviously, this light is very harsh and can make people look very unattractive, but can work for certain situations. Obviously, like tungsten is green and very weird, and you can
sort of sickly looking.
Yeah. But if you're shooting like Silent Hill creepy stuff, it really works. But not all the time. So I use I'm a frog. I use this thing. This is my handy dandy strobe. You can buy all fancy these things are weird, and I'm sure you've seen photographers like weird domes and things like that. So basically like diffuses the light. So obviously it sits on my camera. You can sync this to your camera and like go over here, and you can have someone hold it. You can bounce it off the ceilings, off the floor. and it can pop into some blue light, which is great. You can use strobes.
Could use strobes.
And strobes usually, unless you have a lot of money, require electricity, unless you have a battery pack and you're carrying your battery pack around. But they can...
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 strobes with me now that I borrowed from my university.